The first test match of the Border Gavaskar Trophy turned out to be a mismatch. The Australians folded up for 177 in the first innings, and thereafter in the second innings, they could manage just 91 runs. How to bat? Let's get to know more about it with none other than Mr. Sunil Gavaskar. Sunny bhai, what exactly went wrong with the Australians? Was it in the mind or was it with their skills on the field?
I think it was more in the mind because before the test match started, there was so much of noise about which way the pitch is going to behave, and I think they were looking for devils which were not there in the pitch, and therefore they played some shots which they otherwise wouldn't have played and got out. Having said that, the Indian bowlers bowled splendidly. The first two wickets on day one, which Siraj and Shami took, was actually where the door was open for the Indian spinners to come in and do their work. Because sometimes, when the openers come in, they score 50, 60, 70. It becomes just a little bit harder for the spinners. So that has to be also taken into account, that it was not just the spinners, but the new ball bowlers also played their part in India's win.
And all that chatter around the wicket, and the Australian media, we know they play that role of the 12th man for the Australian team. All that chatter around the wicket, the way the Australians mentioned about that wicket, maybe it was unfair. Even the Australian media claimed that it was a doctored pitch. So do you think that that did affect their psyche while going into the match?
I don't know where and how the pitch was doctored. A lot of times, it's a lot of hearsay. We've been hearing about, how there was an aircraft ready for the Indian team in 2008 when that Monkey Gate thing happened. Nothing of that was true. There was no aircraft ready for the Indian team. The IPL hadn't started. BCCI didn't have the kind of money to have a chartered flight ready at that stage. But that's the kind of thing that you find with the media, particularly when it comes to the media from Australia and from England. I do believe that we must try and ignore it. And if it has got to go in the print section, anything what the Australian or the English media says, it should go in the comedy section, not in the sports section, not on the sports pages. It should go in the entertainment and comedy pages.
All right. And Sunny bhai, Rohit Sharma making a comeback into Test cricket after a long time, but led from the front, both with the bat and as the leader of this group.
Yes, very, very impressive. His batting was very impressive. The way he paced his innings. He started off well with those 3 boundaries in the first over from Pat Cummins. But after that, the way he applied himself, the way he was playing so late to allow the ball to turn and do its bit, then working the ball around, using his feet to try and hit the boundaries. Very impressive test innings. And then as a captain, he seemed to have total control over where the fielder should be set, what the bowling changes should be. So all in all, a very, very impressive performance from the captain.
Usually we use the word intimidation for the faster bowlers. But do you think this pair, now you may have to add Akshar Patel when you're playing in India. Do you think this pair of Ravichandran Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja, it is as intimidating for any opposition as maybe the fast bowlers, those express fast bowlers?
Yes, it is, because they keep taking wickets. With the faster bowlers, you're thinking also in terms of physical injury. In this case, the scars that they leave behind can actually last the whole series. So the way they've bowled, the way they've got the odd ball to turn, the way they've got the ball to skid, the carom ball, the flicker ball used by Ravichandran Ashwin to such good effect, I do believe the scars are going to last for the entire series.
Are you going to play? I know Sunny bhai is not too well. He just took time out for us to be with us. Sunny bhai, just a couple of final questions. Sunny bhai, are you going to make? I know it will be very difficult for the team management to make any changes to the winning combination. But KL Rahul, was it unfair on Shubman Gill to be left out of this 11? And now that KL Rahul is there, of course he is going to continue with the team in the next match?
I do believe that Rahul deserves another opportunity. He's performed for India in the last year and a half. And yes, he hasn't scored runs in the last couple of games, but he's a class act, and I think he should play the Delhi game. After that, maybe you can look at having another one.
Salim, when you would be there after the 4th test gets over, who do you think of course, will be taking that trophy, and what would be the score line?
I think Rohit Sharma will be taking the trophy after a 4-0 series win.
All right, so that's the verdict from the great man. Sunil Gavaskar says 4-0 in India's favor. We'll wait and see, and now we'll see you in Delhi.